Hey guys, if you are like me and everyone else my age, a little bit older, we're all paying a lot of bills and raising kids and doing all that kind of stuff, part of life. I have some good news for you. If you are my age or a little bit older, you're going to be inheriting some money. In the next 10 years, there's going to be $14 trillion passing hands. So if you're in Generation X, you are going to be inheriting money. 1.4 trillion a year for the next 10 years is going to start tidal wave shifting over as the silent generation passes away. And so that's something to think of. You're going to have something. You're going to get a little bump. You're going to get some of this. Everybody has, there's a lot more wealth that's going to change hands than what you realize. Here's my message though, is now is the time to get your parents properly prepared. Get estate plans in place, because we are talking about mainstream wealth. We're talking about the mass affluent. That means it's wealth, but it's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. It's a little bit of land they have out here. It's this house. It's their mutual fund, a retirement account, a little bit from this pension, life insurance. It's spread all over the place. And without a plan, much of it will be lost. Lost to probate costs and attorney fees and expenses, and some of it just lost altogether, like it goes into the government's unclaimed property fund because you never knew it existed. I want to help all of you stop that from happening. The best thing that we can do now is to get with our parents and let them know that the greatest thing they could ever leave behind is a clean transition, so that when that time comes, we can be with our families and we can be doing what we're supposed to be doing, and that is celebrating their lives, mourning, and we won't be cleaning up a legal financial mess, trying to put all the pieces together and trying to get it distributed among us and our brothers and sisters. That's what I do now. That's what I've dedicated my practice toward. I've dedicated my practice to making sure that we can preserve wealth. We can preserve the wealth that all middle class people have that is often lost. And it's lost to family feuds and fighting and probate and court expenses. And by coming together now and actually having these conversations now, we can stoke the fires, figure out what issues there are. We can talk about those issues now instead of burying them underneath the pillowcase and not talking about them. That's the irresponsible thing to do that so many of our elders have done, is they don't want to talk about money. They think it'll cause entitlement, or they think it will cause conflict, and it's the opposite. Talk about it now. Let's just be confrontational. Let's talk about it now. And let's start having these family conversations. And this is actually what's going to bring us together. Have these conversations with your parents. Go have them this weekend. Have these conversations. Let's start talking about this stuff. And then let's start planning. And then we can have a more harmonious family. And those of us in the current economy, in the current generation that is dealing with inflation and is that dealing all this stuff, we know that we're going to have something coming to us in the next 10 years that's going to help us and our children and our families. And that's the most beautiful thing about America, is that you get to work hard, you get to keep it, and you get to pass it on. The estate tax is not going to affect 99.9% of any of us. There's no estate tax in Oklahoma, and at the federal level, it's so high right now, you're going to be fine over the next 10 years. We don't got to worry about taxes. What we have to worry about is we have to worry about the more practical reality, which is we don't know where their stuff is. We didn't know they had a CD at some account at this bank. We didn't know they owned this random 10 acres of land out here. We didn't know this. We didn't know that. It's the practical. It's just cleaning up and finding the stuff. And then it's not having to go through the ridiculous probate and having to hire a lawyer and inviting conflict and publishing stuff in the newspaper and making it other people's business. So let's get together with our parents. Let's start having these conversations. And let's talk about how easy and inexpensive it is to do foundational planning now, and how it will leave peace and prosperity, and it will leave a good memory of our parents. That's what we want to have. And that's what our parents want. Our parents want us to love and remember them. They do not want us to think about all the bad things that had to happen and all the conflict that was caused. Have a great weekend.